Hello, in this tutorial you will learn how to create vintage Photoshop effect using such Photoshop tools as smart filters, adjustment layers and overlay textures. To complete this tutorial you need to download the free pack of textures from the written version of the tutorial. I am Ivan Gromov for Envato Tuts Plus. Press Ctrl N to create a new document and use the following settings: 3000 and 2000 pixels and 300 dpi. Go to File, Place and put your image inside the document. Resize your image to the borders of the document and hit Enter. After that, right-click on the layer, Convert to Smart Object. Now we could start to create vintage photo effect. Select the smart object and then go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise and use the following settings: Amount 2%, Distribution Uniform, Monochromatic On. After that, go to Filter Gallery, Texture, Grain and use the following settings: Intensity 15, Contrast 59, Grain Type Regular. Now let's place the overlay texture above the smart object and then change the blending mode of this new layer to Screen. To create the fade effect we will use gradient layers. So go to Layer, New Fill Layer, Gradient. Use the following settings: Style Linear, Angle 135 degrees, then click on Gradient Strip and create a first point using F7, double F and 00 color code. After that, create the second point using 912A00 color code. And use 100% opacity. Change the blending mode of the gradient fill to soft light and the opacity to 35%. Create another gradient fill layer. Style Linear, set the angle to -3.58 degrees. Click on Gradient Strip and create the first point at 0 location. And use 252B45 color code. Change the opacity of this point to 0%. Create the second point at 100 location and use the following color code: F7AE8E. Change the opacity of the point to 100%. Change the blending mode of the gradient fill to hard light and the opacity to 35%. Go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Gradient Map and click on Gradient Strip icon. Create the first point at 0 location using 31359 color code. Create the second point at 29 location using 4C4B75 color code. Create another point at 55 location with BA6167 color code. And create the last point at 93 location and use the following color code: FF7038. Change the blending mode of the gradient map to soft light and the opacity to 60%. Create another gradient map and then use next settings: Color 1A535D for the first point, free 1D49D for the second point. Change the blending mode of the gradient map to soft light and the opacity to 25%. After that, go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Curves. Go to the red channel, create a point in the middle of the line, and put it down. After that, go to the green channel, create first point and lift it up. Create the second point and put it down. And then create the last point and put it down as well. Go to the blue channel. Create and lift up 2 points. After that, create another point and put it down. Go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Brightness Contrast, and use the following settings. Brightness 5, Contrast 35. Now we need to create the last gradient fill with the following settings. Style Linear. Angle 45 degrees. Color code for the first point 313067. Color code for the second point is B03D11. And set the opacity to 100%. Change the opacity of the layer to 15%. Here is our final result. As you can see, we can create an atmospheric looking image using overlay textures and adjustment layers. Thank you for watching and don't forget to check our channel if you want to learn more Photoshop techniques.